Marc Peard Podcast.
Yes, kia ora everybody. Welcome along to the Marc Peard Podcast. Thank you, James. Thank you for everyone who's joined us on Facebook Live. As you can see, the comments coming through and the shares and everything that's going on. I will be in running the appreciation shuttles this evening, so thank you all for watching. If you're listening back on podcasts, this will be very, very confusing for you, but basically, when people are watching the live stream, okay, you guys are being silly now.
Do it more.
Stop liking it. Stop sharing it.
Like,
you do not need to do any of this stuff.
The tally is up.
Yeah.
Blake is keeping a tally of all the shuttle runs I'll be running for everybody who does share, and I feel like this has been a chance for everyone to unload on me. So I'll run all those appreciation shuttles. We do appreciate you being a part of the show tonight. Tonight, it is I who'll be running the appreciation shuttles. Tonight we were supposed to have David Higgins from JUCO for the Joseph Parker Junior Far fight. Of course, December 11th at Spark Arena. He has since rung in the last 20 minutes.
Has he?
Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate it. He's rung in to say that he is unavailable.
Why? Was he training? Was he doing a deal? Is he down setting up the arena?
I think he is actually doing a deal. But we will talk about that fight.
Right.
And also joining the show, the absolute spirit of the Warriors. That's what I'm calling him. Jazz Tavanga, he's coming onto the show as well. Remember also all your favourites, Weather Chat, hashtag Weather Chat. We've had some people already messaging in on the Weather Chat. Thank you for you. We'll get to those. We have the fight card and, of course, the Peard lines. If you do share the stream, if you do like the stream, I am in charge of the appreciation shuttles this evening. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Back passes at the line. Intercepted by Ashford. Ashford's over halfway. It's Carney chasing. Ashford and Carney. Carney and Ashford.
He did make it to the line. He did, in fact, make it to the line.
Bubbler.
Yeah.
I did.
And the big point. Any words of wisdom that you can share with the folks who are listening?
Yes, came to my attention today, and this going out to the NZ Black Caps. Doing it a bit tough today. They do have to abide by the rules, but to me, I'm going to give them a little something. Pablo Picasso sent me in a message in a bottle. He left it for me.
Wow.
Yes. What? And he said, if you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. So what I'm getting at is the NZ Black Cap boys today got told they're not allowed to spit on their balls. Oh. So for me, if you obey the rules, I want to have a bit of fun. Yeah. For me, spitting on my balls and spitting on other people's balls, that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So NZ Black Caps, spit on your balls, don't obey the rules, have some fun.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
We've got a nice staff. Be prepared. We're a woggle.
Yeah, wear a woggle. Nato,
wear a woggle.
Words of wisdom. Spit on your balls is the words of wisdom. This day in history from you.
Yeah, well, by the way, it's currently 13 degrees here at Eden Park, New Zealand's national stadium.
Hashtag.
And on this day in 1950, the world got a little bit cool. Robert Bell was born. He was known as Cool, from Kool and the Gang.
Oh.
In 1980, they released Celebration. How about that? 1980. So that makes that song 40 years old. It was. Do you know that it only went to number one in 3 countries in the world: the USA, Canada, and New Zealand. It was number one for 2 weeks before it was ousted by Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. So there you go. It's still number one though in all the nightclubs in Rotorua and Gisborne. So
great tunes.
Yeah, man.
2 really, really good tunes, and rightly so. Still number one.
Celebration.
I've always said that. All right, let's
number
get
40 in Australia. What's up with Australia?
Oh, don't know, mate.
We'll get into that.
Dancing.
Bonzi. Fight card last week, Nato. I can't even remember.
It was which chore do you hate doing more? Was it washing dishes or hanging out clothes? And it was washing dishes. Just one in a cakewalk. Actually, I don't know why do you walk on cake? Is it a cakewalk? You know when something's a cakewalk.
Yes.
I don't know what fairy tale that
some
one
of
comes
these
to.
sayings that have come out that we all use still.
Just thinking.
Hands in the pie.
If anyone knows,
fingers in pie.
just give us a share, and then Peter will run a shuttle. Today's one though, so I was actually inspired by this. I changed my. I was going to do holiday activities you could go back to do if you're a kid, but I was actually this one. I was inspired by something that happened on the way here. So, which is the greater vehicular thrill? Is it returning a rental car trailer perfectly executed reverse park the first time? You know that one where you go vroom when you
Give us a story, Nate. Tell us, describe it to us in all its glory. Go, do it.
You know these ones here. You go back. You've signed it, and you go back to the Z or whatever, and it's just over there, and there's some people waiting, and someone's gone, and one of them isn't quite lined up straight. The one that that's like basically a big horse float. That one's slightly off, but you go and you run it, and you just like line it in the very first time.
Yeah, you do.
The very first time. There's no correcting on the way in like the guy in the sub. Yeah. Nah, you're just going right in.
And you look over at the people who are all standing around watching. You're like, I'll just go ahead and leave that there.
Yeah. They do. And people know, and they look and they go, there's more of a man in that car. Mm-hmm. And they go, yeah. So is it that? Or is it passing a police car in the open road? Ooh. So you're driving along there, an open road, and you go there, and you see it in front of you, but what you do is you speed up enough to pull out and pass it, and then pull in front of it and drive off.
That's gutsy, man.
Yeah, you know that one?
So on the way here, when I pulled out from where I was, a cop car let me pull out, like flash my lights, and I think it was
no, not falling for that.
Yeah, I actually did go out in front, but I was scared for at least 400 metres, even though I'd done nothing wrong.
You are, right? You're like,
fuck,
please both brake lights work.
Please. And if they don't, please don't be one of those cops that comes and takes one out.
So which one of those is the bigger vehicular thrill? Is it returning a rental trailer with a perfectly executed reverse park the first time, or is it pulling out and passing a police car in the open road?
Oh, great questions. All right, let's start from here and get straight into what we like to call the Peard lines.
Okay, go.
And start with Peard line number 1. And you boys have to guess. So this basically, the sporting headline has come to me.
Yeah.
It's gone into my head, and it comes out my mouth this way. And you guys have to try and decipher what it is I'm referring to.
Okay.
Peard line number 1. No bad guys in the South Auckland ruckus.
Oh.
Yep, so both the fighters are good guys.
Yes, from South Auckland. They've fought before. They are Junior Farr and Joseph Parker.
2 and 2.
Indeed.
Are they fighting in a Stonewood home?
No, that's what sponsors get these
I'd
days.
like to see that actually, rather have it in a Stonewood home. Because imagine doors getting punched out and rocking
Look,
away.
the brand could be right there.
Yeah.
It could be Stonewood or someone
It's a Spark Arena.
just between our heads on this podcast.
So 11th of December, these two face off.
Yeah.
And like I said in the headline, two really, really lovely guys. Lucky that the heavyweight division in world boxing is, it's so hard to get anyone matched up. So I would say that if they were up against a whole heap of exciting fights, this would be a tough sell. However, we're in New Zealand. No one's able to fight anyone else. Everyone wants to see this, right?
Yeah,
We really wanted to see this. What's the record? They're both...
I believe they fought each other as amateurs, and they're 2-2, so they've got an even sort of thing there. And so Junior is bigger, but you would think though that with Joseph's high level training the entire way through, because remember with Junior, like earlier when they hit that crossroad part where you could go and be a pro, Joseph was like he was backed by David Higgins and Dean Lonergan, and they set him up to be trained in Las Vegas and to live the life. Junior went the other way. Like Junior basically went and got a job and dropped out of that for a while before he came back. So he's training now with the boys at City Kickboxing, which, as you know, is a pretty elite performance combat gym. But surely a guy like Parker, who's been training high level the entire way through, that's just going to be too many good miles.
Well, my question is, who would a loss hurt more? So Junior Far's
Joe.
30, Joe's 28.
Yeah.
So Joe's got years to go, but he's sort of been there, and if he wins, it just keeps growing. But if Junior Far beats Joseph Parker, like that's his career could just go on the up. So I don't know who would hurt more.
To me, I think Joseph's got more to lose internationally because because of that thing. He's already a name. Junior's been there, and you see him. I've seen him in a few fights. I think, right, here we go. It's going to be good, but he never quite delivers that big knockout that you want from someone at that thing. But basically, if the two of them can stand in the middle of the ring and just fussy, that'll be pretty damn good.
I had an interesting one actually. They streamed the press conference on the Herald, I believe, NZ Herald, and they had the press that they put out there. I think it was yesterday. And I was looking through the comments and reading up, and then a couple of mates messaged me, and they were talking about the fact that how much of a whitewash does this look like, this press conference? And I was like,
What do you mean?
Go on, what do you mean? And one of my mates just goes, well, look at it. This is like a scene from Django Unchained. Like you've got these two bulking, massive island boys who are at the peak of their powers, who are going to take each other. And then everyone's standing around them looking to cash in on this ticket, which will be a valuable ticket. Yeah. You think about it.
Yeah.
I wrote the names down. So who was fronting it? They had Steve Scotty. Your mate, Scotty Stevenson.
Yeah.
He was doing the emceeing, which and I thought he did a great job of it.
Does.
But then we had comments from Higgins,
Yes.
who's a rich white dude.
Yes.
You had Sparks Jeff Latch come up and talk.
Oh, yes.
He's another white dude.
Yeah.
RWD. Shane Curry from the Herald, another white dude.
What's Shane doing? Is Shane in there fighting, is he? Or what's going on?
None of them are fighting.
Just having a word.
Where's the bit where they go, now we're going to speak to the editor of a newspaper?
No. But they're supporting the fight. And then, of course, Eddie Hearn, they had the Eddie Hearn video as well. And they're like, man, look at this.
It's like he's on video because he's got COVID.
He does.
He does too. So they're sitting there thinking, man, look at these two boys. These guys are at the peak of their powers. Yeah. And look at all these guys who are around them about to cash in on their ticket. Let's just hope
But that's the dirty world of boxing. That's always been the dirty world of boxing, hasn't it? It's basically, let's get, like, you don't get any boxers that grew up in well-to-do homes, do you? Are there any that you can, I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head.
I want to say Butterbean, just because he looked well-fed.
Fred Ash or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
No,
he would have been.
He worked in a General Motors plant or something.
I just found it interesting. It was completely out of my head because I was just looking at the comments and stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, there you go. Another concern was, how do the Pacific Island community, who obviously hold these boys true, how do they get to see the fight? Are they all going to be spending that much money on Spark? A lot of them.
So I haven't seen any of this. So is it? So you watch it on Spark Sport?
Yep, it's going to be on Spark Sport. Or
is it streaming on the Herald as well? Is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So is there pay-per-view as well? You buy pay-per-view?
Yeah,
it's
it'd have to be
pay-per-view on Spark.
Okay.
Which goes down the same alley, and I've always had this, and you and I have had this discussion many, many times before, Nato. The idea of trying to sell pay-per-views to me is so, like, it's past. Like that time has passed. Now you will find, I could give you 6 different links where you will find that fight and you could watch it for free. That's just the reality of it. people find ways of finding these fights
People
for free.
steal stuff all the time.
There
but
used
you-
to be a
you've
time
got-
when. Sorry, there used to be a time when they used to do it on Facebook. Do you remember that? And
Yeah,
they used to-
yeah.
someone used to
People
Beast
hold up on
Mode.
Facebook. Yeah, Beast Mode was the guy.
Beast Mode was the guy who sort
Yeah.
of it all came tumbling down, and Duco went after him, and there was a massive da-da-da-da,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how that ended up. However, when is it time where they do my idea? I'm sure plenty of people have had it, but they sell the fight to someone like the Warehouse, and the Warehouse puts that fight up on the website, and you can all go to thewarehouse.co.nz and watch it for free. And they put their advertising through it, knowing that 1 million people are going to be watching their
Well, see,
website at that time.
That's why I wondered if it was up on the Herald website. But I mean, it's not like it's difficult for people to do now, because there won't be as many as watched the All Blacks last year. I remember there was the slightest glitch in that, and people freaked out, and then there were all sorts of writing a front page story about it. And I mean, heck, even the Sky I've watched in the last few weeks, there's been the odd little rain fade or a bit of a rip in it that it goes. But I mean, if you can watch YouTube, you can watch this fight. Now it's just getting together and pitching in to do it. It might actually work out a lot cheaper to do it that way, where you'll get households watching it together. But I think it's a dream matchup per pay-per-view when you've got Tonga versus Samoa. That always works quite well.
Yes, especially if they play on those cards. We
I
all enjoy the card.
hope they already have. Yeah.
We really enjoy those cards. All right, headline number 2.
Yeah.
Plum trees move up the New Zealand rugby power rankings.
Plum trees.
Zip
I
plum
read this
trees.
for you.
So is that to do with Tane Plumtree, the son of John Plumtree, coming on to play a lot for Wellington?
Starting this weekend,
Oh.
and his old man will be the assistant
coach
for the All Blacks.
That's right, they're finally here.
They have suddenly become the power family of New Zealand rugby. And of course, yes, the Bledisloe Cup, test
Yes.
number 1, played in Wellington.
Playing in beautiful Welly.
Is it going to sell out?
Sunday afternoon. Oh, nothing
Oh, we
sells.
know this.
Nothing sells out in Wellington. No.
I'm only saying it because we always used to enjoy
And you
this
know
chat
what?
on Radio
Even
Sport.
if it does look like it's sold out, you know that Wet has gone and digitised a crowd in there, and even they might even put holograms there that people don't realise they're sitting next to. Nothing sells out in Wellington.
Mate,
Nothing.
For me, this is the time.
Thank you, Daisy.
This is the time as a Wallabies fan. You're like every year this happens.
Yeah.
So we've had the Super Rugby season. We're like, oh, this might be the year. Like, look at this team. Like, we might actually get one here. And then I think it was a couple of years ago, they win a game, but then they always come to Eden Park for the decider of the Bledisloe Cup, and we just can't win at Eden Park.
I was at the last game the All Blacks lost here. How weird's that? I was a young fella when they lost against in France. Yeah, it was like 1994.
You were here to see that
I was
game.
here to see that one. Yeah.
Yikes.
Guys, I don't think you heard what I said. I said I'm excited. The
He's
Wallabies
excited
are going to
about
win.
it. Let's go.
The
In Welly. Eh?
Yeah, this is the one. We're going to win it, and then it's going to be Bledisloe
Yeah,
Cup
Welly.
time.
Welly pick up.
Thank you, Lance. We have Blake who is tallying up. What are we at now? How many shuttles?
11.
11.
Well, this is exciting too, because you've got that whole Chiefs thing, right? The background of it. We had Ian Foster, who was the coach for a long time there, and they kept falling on their face. Then the next year, Dave Rennie takes over and they win back-to-back Super Rugby titles. So there was that, and there was a bit of a feel of, why didn't that guy get a shot over the top of him? So he'll have some tricks.
I'm excited for the Tongan Thor.
Yeah,
because
man.
under
Yes,
Brad
yes.
Thorne this year, he's gone to his endurance. He's I think he got Queensland Player of the Year. Maybe
He's been
Player
amazing.
Of the, yeah, he's been awesome. So for him, I think it's going to be unreal, and that's why I say every time this year, before the first game, we get a bit of hope.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to win a game, you're winning this one down in Wellington.
Yeah.
That where you're gonna. And can anyone who's listening or watching right now, are we at all nervous? Are we at all nervous that we could lose the first one to the Wallabies?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know what we can do that is different. I don't know what we try that's slightly different than last year, and how big the confidence was knocked in it. Because that obviously you can't show up to the next World Cup with the exact same thing. So this is that bit where everyone resets to go, right, we're going to try something really different here. So Rennie could go really young with his first 5 and go, maybe I'll take a loss here in New Zealand, but he's going to learn these on the way through. I don't know whether New Zealand gets in and switches out both of its wings from last year. We might end up going, right, we're going to go Will Jordan and Caleb Clark. We might try that, and we might try
We've got
these.
some good wingers.
Yeah.
And that
They
doesn't
say
seem that drastic, though, does it? Like switching out our wingers seems like you're putting your form wingers in doesn't seem like a massive change to what you're doing.
I put Thor down in my notes as well, because I reckon Australia's going to try and work moves where they can get a ruck to one side of the field, and that little first pod, because his hands are so good, where he's either he carries a lot in the first half, and then then he starts to become the decoy guy and the ball player because his ball playing ability is
And
brilliant.
that's why it wouldn't surprise me if they go James O'Connor at 10.
Yeah.
Just because of that Brisbane connection, the Queensland connection there.
Yeah.
So, and also being coached by Brad Thorne as well. So, yeah, I think it'll be a good game.
It's going to be a really good game, actually.
It's going to be like he's done the Dave Rennie thing, right? Dave Rennie's huge on team culture.
Yeah.
And you've seen
It
all
goes
the
faith in
news.
young players.
Yep. All the news that's been coming out of the camp, the Wallabies camp, is that the players are really getting on. They're getting to know each other really, really well. They're all about this. They're excited to get out there. What happens, though, when they get punched in the teeth? What happens then, Blake? Like, culture takes you so far. Then the All Black machine punches you in the teeth.
It hasn't happened yet. So, for me, this is why I say the best time of the year because we're pumped. Nothing has happened.
Bryce is saying, yes, Perth again.
Exactly.
And then the emoji he's using is like.
But that's what I'm saying this time of the year.
But what I'm saying is, Bryce, what do you mean? Do you mean we're going to lose? It's going to be like Perth again?
Yeah, I think he's what he's saying.
Is that what he means?
He's
Why the
saying yes like Perth again.
And then we get all pumped up, and then we come and lose the second game after we think we're going to win the Blitters like Eden Park, and we never do.
Nate, give us your team. Did you have more?
Yeah, I'll go with one. This won't be it, but here we go. I like Geordie at fullback because he was the form guy, which means I like Bowden at first five because he was the form guy. I'm going to go Will Jordan and Caleb Clark on my wings. I am going to do it. I'm going to go Rico at centre because I think that's a new home for him, particularly in defence where he can sprint up quicker than anybody else to shut that in when you're blitzing. Jack Goodhue at 12, Bowden at first five, Aaron Smith at half-back, so my reserve backs, Richie Moonga, TJ Perenara and George Bridge. Right?
I like it.
Okay.
AB's punched the Wallabies in the teeth and score 50. That's Tootie. James Taitamu says All Blacks 13 plus, easy win.
Easy. My forwards.
Bryce is saying, yeah, we will lose. Sorry,
I'm going to go Hoskins Satutu off the back with Frizzell and Sam Kane. So big bludgeoning fellows in my loose forwards to start with Artie on the bench. Otherwise, I would have had Artie starting if Kane wasn't captain. Sam Whitelock and Tui Pelotu with Vai on the bench. And Tungafasi and Moody to start. And then I'm going to go, just experience-wise, I'm going to go Tui Nukuafi, Lolala, and Cody Taylor starts and Dane Coles finishes it off.
Yes, Nate, yes.
That's how it goes. But I don't know what he goes with. He might start with Richie and then put Bodie at fullback.
It's always the way. Are we excited by this? Like this is where we get to. Like, are we excited by the team naming still?
I am.
Does it still get our blood pumping?
Yeah. Well, because you're interested, and then you do your bit. You're like, wonder why that is for a couple of bits, and there's always a bit you go, well, why would he do that? And then later on, some tactic gets pulled out of your ass. You're like, oh, didn't see that.
All right,
that's the sports news cycle.
Let's pop back into the headlines later on because we should have.
Oh,
there he is. There he is. There he is. Jez, can you hear us?
Hi, fellas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking hell, I was just about to turn it off.
Oh. Sorry, we were discussing important facts like the All Blacks team naming tomorrow.
And reversing a trailer.
And
Wallabies on the first go.
And Wallabies
and
winning.
the Wallabies winning and all that type of jazz. Do you know any of the boys personally? The All Blacks fellas?
I know a couple. Like I know Paddy and Akira. Sort of met Caleb a couple times, but that's about it. Oh, I bumped into Sam Kane and Dan Coles at R&V last year.
Boy, Kane's huge, eh?
A big Warriors fans. Oh, Sam Kane actually came to our camp in Rotorua.
He's got no neck, eh? He's
Bro,
huge.
they are huge, eh?
Yeah.
They're huge. But yeah, good fellas. They support the Warriors harder, and they always flick me a message here and there.
Bro, I see the bike in the back. Like, that's not getting used. Let's be honest.
You just
I had
reeled
to
that
put
in.
that in there to look like, you know.
You can tell
They
it's
gave
not
it
because
to
it's
us
too
on,
close to the curtains.
They gave it to us on Sunday, and I've used it once. But yeah, I was trying to stay off the beers and that. But Stace was into my ear saying, "Mate, you've got ages." So.
I love that.
How's it been? Like, fuck, talk us through the last week. What's been going through your head?
Bro, honestly, this is like a luxurious prison. Fuck, you can't do anything. Like, you're allowed to go for a walk, 15-minute walk, and you just walk up and down a car park. Yeah, not allowed out of your rooms unless it's for essentials like food getting delivered. So I've been fresh in the Uber Eats. Yeah, and just fuck. Whole lot of wanking.
Have to,
Yeah.
have to.
Right.
I mean, what have you been doing? Because obviously you had a bit of NBA to watch. You would have had, there's a bit of NFL from time to time. Baseball. What else, man? That'd be so
What's the
boring.
weirdest sport
PlayStation.
you've bet on?
Been following the NBA. There's my team in the background. The Heat. Why are you laughing, Blake?
Oh, mate. You change fucking teams every year, you do. Golden State last year.
I was a Golden State guy. Golden State till you die.
Yeah, NBA, watching the horse races, and been studying, studying a business course, and PS4. Been jamming some COD, Call of Duty.
It's funny you say business course because, I've talked to a couple of the boys and they said that you've come in with this attitude like you're changing now. You're throwing the beers away, the nightlife, you're ready to settle down. Is it? I don't know. I can't see it.
At that stage, we are just, maturing, becoming like, an adult.
Real
sort of
talk.
mucking around and stuff. So, when you left Asia, it was a huge weight off my shoulders. So, it allowed me to, take a step further into life.
A question's come in for you, Jazz, from Leighton Swan, one of the Gizzy boys. He wants to know, Cheer Bros, can you ask Jazz how he got the nickname the Human Tripod? Also heard people around the club call him Three Legs.
What does that mean? Does that mean because I got a big laho?
I don't know. The latest that
Already short
I'll take that. I'll happily take it. That's the first I've heard. I usually be called the other way.
What's the so how long do you got? How long do you got in prison before you get to get out on the
We get out
books?
on Monday, 7:30 p.m.
You've been watching the playoffs? You've been watching the NRL finals? That's what they call it, not playoffs.
Yeah, I have been. Roosters and Panthers, that was a mean game, and the Para and Storm game was a really good game.
But Nathan Brown went all right for Para.
You're trying to warm me up, man. Nah, Brownie's all good. I love the way he plays. I respect him. I sort of said to him last year after we had a little tussle as well. I said that I respected the way he plays, and I just knew like every time we're going to play each other from now on, it's going to be good battle. So I love the battle against him. And Toddy actually told me to get under his skin because apparently he's like the alpha of their pack. And so when I hit him and got Simbined, I was thinking, fuck, Toddy's gonna be so angry. And when I come in at halftime, he looked at me and I go, fuck, sorry, Toddy. And he goes, nah, I fucking loved it. oh, sweet. And he goes, keep doing it. And I was like, yeah, okay.
That's that's a mantle now,
year.
though, right? That's a mantle now that you carry. And as a fan base, we sit there and watch it. And I don't know how you take this word, but the word mongrel comes to mind. But you add that mongrel, you're the like that you need when because the team needs somebody who's gonna man up. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, that was the thing with our team. Like we didn't have we had Blairy, but Blairy was on the bench, and then I looked at our forwards. Like we don't have that mongrel in our team. And then when you have Leeson and that, like they're really nice people. So and they don't have that like in them. So when I was look, we need a mongrel because every good team has a mongrel or like an enforcer. Like it's usually their bigger guys too, like Jared for the Roosters, Bromwich, Nelson for the Storm. Every like the Manly they had Fanua and Tapau. So that was the role. I was like, oh fuck it, if no one's gonna do it, then I'll do it. So any little scuffle I was in there, just going, fuck, is that us? But I'm so happy we signed Adam and Keynes so they can fucking do it now.
I mean,
be standing behind them. I got your back.
Get in. I'll have to do it again.
Get his lunch.
Was there for you though, that's that's a tough one to have to be. Do you know what I mean? Like being able to G up every single game. That's what you're needed for. And you were doing it head in and head out. But the rap from that is people say you're a hothead. You can't be trusted. He won't stay on the field. He's too hot-headed. You're not, right? You're not that way inclined. This is something you have to...
Hot-headed? Ask Ash. I'm not hot-headed. And that's interesting because Monty wanted to catch up with me when I got home. So, and I was talking about that because he was saying sort of something like he used to play that role too, and it ended up doing him more damage than what he was trying to do. So I guess if I can find the line, the balance between getting under their skin and not letting it get to me, yeah, it'll help me more.
So, who was the most perfect player in history that you think of when you go, well, I'm going to try and be like he was? That was the way that guy used to do it.
I don't know. Like when I look at like enforcers, well, one that really stands out to me is Sam Burgess, the way he was. But fuck, that can't go suspended.
Yeah. Yeah, too many times.
Even Blairy, like Blairy does it real cleanly. Like he adds a bit of thing in there, and no one's keen to fight him because of there's just some like the aura about him. He's pretty intimidating on the field. I guess because I'm littler, every cunt wants to try and tee up on me.
Well, that's it.
When they see me piping up, they're keen because I'm smaller than the rest of them.
And that's never the bouncer you pick on. Never that guy.
Yeah, you don't pick on
never
the
that
smaller
guy.
one.
No, not that one.
He's
No.
going to drop you.
You never do.
You've got to tell them that.
Yeah.
I want to know who's going to back you up next year, because obviously, like, a couple of your best mates left, like Roachie's gone, Sam Lasoni, myself, I left, like 3 enforcers have left the club and left you alone. Who are you going to lean on next year? Or are you out?
Well, me and Nate moved in with Roger this year, so we bonded pretty well. I'll say. There's a few piss ups in our room, but yeah, I'll be alright. I think Roger will look after me. Hopefully, if we go back to Oz, he was saying that he's going to get his own place with his family, and I was like, what about me?
Yeah, cool. Will I be in the sleep out?
Hey, what have you heard? What have you heard? What's the next step for you now? I mean, we've got Nathan Brown supposed to be showing up at some stage. You've got, they're already starting to look forward to seeing how 2021 will look. What have you heard? What do you know? Is it even in your head yet?
Yeah. So they're doing like a split preseason. So the Aussie boys stayed. The boys that have family in Oz, they stayed in Aussie. All the Sydney boys are gonna do I think it's like a 4-week camp in Wollongong, somewhere around there. Tohu Harris and Cody in Queensland. Oh well, Tohu's in Victoria and Cody's in Queensland, so they're gonna do their own preseason. Bro, banger, he's the best. And the Kiwi boys gonna do normal preseason there, and then after Christmas, because they didn't want the boys to miss Christmas. They wanted everyone to be with their families and that after what's gone on this year. So after Christmas, if the borders still haven't opened, then the Kiwi boys will fly over to Oz and join the rest of them in January.
You sound keen. You sound like you just can't wait to get back into it.
That's why you get an exercise bike in your room.
That's right. Rearing to
Wait.
go. Go and learn tonight.
Brownie's actually given me a real stern warning. If I turn up out of shape, I'll have to find a new club. Or kind of along the lines he was saying. So we had a good chat, and yeah, I'm giving myself 2 weeks after ISO to let loose with my mates and catch up with my family and that, and then we time to go to work and shed a few kilos.
It was funny that because you sent me Instagram. You'd be happy with me sharing it anyway. It wasn't anything bad. Just you having a Corona and Nate Roach doing some planks, and it just summed you up perfectly.
Yeah, so you weren't meant to tell anyone because we weren't meant to be in each other's rooms. But I went to Nate's room, and because me, him, and Roger, we have like a roomie chat because we were in the same apartment, and they've just been putting up like fucking workouts every day. They do 2 workouts a day, and I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Because you know how like they're pretty shredded, like they got abs and that.
Oh, there they go. All right, those
like,
two. Yeah.
Why is training? And they're like, oh, we just want to look good for our partners when we get home. And I'm like, fuck, if anyone's got to worry about it. And because we all got when we got welcomed, we had like a 6-pack of beers in your room, and I was just going around to all the boys' rooms that went drinking, just grabbing.
Yeah,
all
true.
Nate was training, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm just here to grab your beers. Watching him train, have a Corona.
Smart. All right, before we let you go, you got to give us a pick for the game on Friday night and the game on Saturday. Who are you taking? Roosters, Raiders?
Roosters. I think the Roosters. They get Jake Friend back, and I think he's like their main man in the middle. And yeah, with him back, it'll be hard for the Raiders to get over a solid Roosters side. And what was the second game? Saturday
game between the Eels and the Rabbitohs. Your old mates at the Eels.
Yeah, I think Rabbitohs. I think Rabbitohs, eh?
They've been good, man. What's gone on to the Rabbitohs water, man? They've been on fire these last few weeks.
I think, bro, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds, they're just freaks, eh? I love watching them play. Even Damien Cook, we already know Damien Cook's pretty good.
Who
I think Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker been carrying them, eh?
who wins it all?
Oh, who wins it all? Go on, put your nuts on the line.
The Roosters again.
Honestly, I want the Roosters and the or Melbourne to win, just because Penrith, like, I don't want them to be the ones to be the breakthrough team, and break it, someone new to win. But it's good Penrith have been doing so well because most of their team are, they've bred them themselves. They're young fellas, come through the system.
Coaches,
so
yes.
I'm happy for them on that regards, but I don't want them to win.
So who's gonna win though?
Well, I said Roosters or Storm, mate.
Well, mate, Bruce, who's gonna win?
I'll say Storm.
Ah,
If Munster's all right, Storm. If he's not, then the Roosters.
Lock them in. All right, Jasmine. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
brother. We were trying to, do you a favor as much as you were doing us a favor by breaking some of that boredom. And we're glad to hear that you're growing up. We're glad to hear that
your business papers.
business papers and
Good
you're all
luck.
sorted to go, mate. We wish you all the very best, and we'll catch up once you get out of there.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers. Cheers.
Catch you, mate.
Can we keep Jazz on file as our business reporter? So, like, if something goes, if we find out that, like, there's like, oh, this club has gone into blah blah blah, or this basketball league's trying to get some business receivership, we could get Jazz on the line to be like our business analyst guy.
I love that.
Okay, how does that work, man? You're studying business, and as long as we preface it with you're studying business,
it'd just be
he could be our guy.
it'd be this club blip.
Yeah.
This club, a beep.
He
I
could
feel
ex-
like our
just
time-
flex some muscle.
I feel like our time with Jazz is precious, though, because I feel like at some stage someone in management's going to realise this. They're going to actually be watching on Twitch or watching on Facebook Live and go, you can't talk like that. You can't talk like that. But he's just being
No,
him,
he's just
right?
him.
He's just one of,
And
like,
that's what we want.
absolutely, and that's what we try to get for you.
The bit where Nathan Brown
Thanks,
says
Lates.
to him, you've got to come back like this as well. Okay, and that was just a little bit of that conversation, but I thought, ooh.
Yeah. He did come out. It said somewhere. He goes, I don't want anyone to come back fat or overweight, or they'll be gone.
Wow.
So
That's tough nuts,
Yeah.
eh? Hey, earlier on in the week, Blake and I caught up with Mr. Blair, Mr. Adam Blair, and we, if you didn't get to see it, it's on the League and Order podcast. Here's a little snippet of it.
that last
come
goal
on.
kick, like, you always head down, head over the ball. And I've seen you at training. You've nailed them. Was it just the big stage? You just froze
No.
up, or?
No, actually, I felt comfortable. Ash. It just didn't come off that day. I had a couple of teammates on the sideline just spraying the hell out of me. I didn't even know why they were doing that because I'm their teammates and it was my last game, so surely they're backing me, But I've got a couple of little bloody parrots in the background just screaming at me, telling me I'm going to miss it, which doesn't help.
Just happened to be Jazz as well, didn't it?
Just happened
Didn't
to be Jazz being in there. You wouldn't expect anything
Adam
else.
Blair is also really good at his camera
How do you mean?
on his computer. Like, for tuning into people's rooms, his lighting looks
Oh, no,
magnificent, Adam Blair.
it was a very, very good podcast.
I was like, is that? I didn't realise you'd spoken to Jason Momoa, but it wasn't. It was Adam Blair.
he did look stunning.
He did.
He did look stunning.
It smelled nice.
All right, moving through into the headlines, gentlemen. We still have a few more to go. This headline is called TAB Playing with Our Emotions. Dun, dun, dun,
Playing with
dun,
my
dun,
emotions,
dun,
Smokey.
Dun, 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 dun.
Putting up fake multis.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Ash hits it out of the park. So
Why? Tell me. Wait.
just look at this post that the TAB has put up on their Facebook page to try and snag a few more multis. And you and I know we've done our fair share
to
of
score
multis.
3 or more tries.
3 or more tries.
Someone bet $100 on someone to score 3 or more tries.
That probably wasn't even a market. That probably wasn't even there to be selected.
Here's
and
the
then
thing.
they've made it up after.
Who's got $100 to throw on that?
We cannot prove that it wasn't real, but the comments, I can't see, is that 516 comments
Yep,
were pretty
516.
much, you are talking shit, TAB.
Because, sorry, if you're throwing it, that is not your only bet you're taking that weekend. If that is you, okay? This is, they've either made it up or this is a person that sprays out 19,000 bets for $100 each and they probably didn't even make their money back over the weekend.
There are. I know there's professional punters
pro
out there,
gamblers.
Yes.
but professional punters aren't putting $100 on Nathan Cleary to score three
Three
tries
tries.
against the Roosters in a finals
thing.
game.
At only 425,000, 425 return.
426 bucks. You think, yeah, I'll put 100 on that.
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm not believing it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying
They're
it.
just trying to get me to put more on.
I'm not buying
Bastards.
it.
You bastards.
Which did bring me to this point. My multis were a mess this week.
So am I.
Thanks so much to Aish. I took all the NRL bets from Aish, and they were horrendous.
Hang on.
They were
Wait.
horrendous.
But on League and Order, I brought this up, Nate. He makes me do them Tuesday morning before the team list
I
come
know,
out.
This is the problem. Yeah.
He makes it do before the team. It's bullshit. And then my name gets dragged through the mud.
Through the mud. But here's a challenge for you, gentlemen.
Okay.
I got my 8-year-old daughter who knows nothing about sport
Yes.
to put down a multi today. And no, okay, that sounds terrible. That sounds like
She walks into the TAB, puts her cigarette out. Oh, she's a kid. Mate, puts her vape out.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
It's today. It's today's.
she's
It's
playing
how the generation's going. That's my. That's what I do for school holidays. So
Okay.
here are her picks.
Yes.
We're going to put our multi up against her multi.
Yes.
Can I just put it straight to? She didn't actually do the multi. She's never heard of these teams.
No.
I just threw teams at her. Have a watch and see what she
Does
picks.
she know it's... Okay, here we go.
Let's head to the NRL, and of course it is NRL finals time.
Okay.
Yeah. So Friday night we've got the Roosters taking on the Raiders. Who's going to win that game?
Pretty sure. Wait, what's the second game?
The Roosters taking on the Raiders.
Raiders.
Raiders. Okay, cool. And of course, Eels bounce back against the Red Hot Rabbitohs. Eels or Rabbitohs? Who's going to win that?
Rabbitohs.
The Rabbitohs. Good. Okay, cool. So we've got Raiders and Rabbitohs both winning this weekend. Cool. All right. What about if we head to the Mitre 10 Cup? Again, we've had very little luck picking this. Manawatu taking on Canterbury. Manawatu or Canterbury? Canterbury. Okay, cool. Taranaki versus Auckland.
Auckland.
North Harbour versus Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay.
Wellington versus Otago.
Wellington.
Waikato versus Counties Manukau. Waikato. Tasman taking on Bay of Plenty. Oh, the upset. Bay of Plenty. Okay, cool. And Northland taking on Southland.
Southland.
Wow. Okay. We'll see how we go. If you win, I'll buy you more lollipops. Hang on a sec. The sound was down. Thank you, Lance. Let me go through that again.
Don't ask me for that because I will choose the Raiders just out of because they're the Raiders. So I'd rather be removed from this one.
Okay. So here we go. Basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to go through that same amount of that same league. She did 9-leg multi there,
Yeah.
and her total in was $247.04. I put $1 on that. If she wins this, I owe her a lot of lollipops. We are going up against her. Gentlemen, we follow sport for a living. Well, we don't. We don't have jobs, but we follow sport pretty closely. So we must be able to beat her in this multi, because if we don't, we will look like absolute mugs. Now, if both of them blow out, then both of them blow out. That's it. But if she nails it, we're in real trouble here. We are in proper trouble. So game number 1. Let's start with the Raiders.
Well, the decider's on you. So you're Raiders? So he's Raiders, I'm Roosters.
Do we play negative pool here? Do we just go with what she did?
I think Roosters. I think
We're going to have to play negative pool.
Do we play negative pool and just go to the ones that
Yeah.
she actually has blown out on? And, there's no way Bay of Plenty's winning that game. Do we just do that, or do we actually go? Do we be brave? Do we be brave men?
No, I think we're brave. We take her on.
Okay, cool.
We beat her. We're experts at this.
We're experts at this.
My couch has got a dip in it because that's the expertise I've
It's
been
going to be
gathering.
so hard for Nate because if we lose the first leg on the Roosters,
I
but
know.
he's
No,
due.
it's okay. No, it's the Roosters. We'll go to the Roosters.
We're going Roosters.
I
All
think
right, lock in
sensible to go
Roosters.
to Roosters.
What's game number 2?
Rabbitohs, surely. They're in form. They're crushing it.
So we match up with her Rabbitoh call.
That's what I
I
thought.
went Para, but we'll go.
Oh, you're a Para.
But
Oh,
we'll
hang
go
on.
Rabbits.
You happy to go rabbits?
I'm
Man,
happy
they're
to
all-
go
No,
rabbits.
don't go with me
because
with Blake.
because I can't. It's either.
Look what
it's
she's
toss of the
done to
coin.
us. Look what
Okay, Rabbitoh. We're going Rabbitohs. We couch dips in the couch.
It's toss of the coin for me.
Daisy, thank you for your input. She's saying Roosters as well.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Daisy.
Okay, Canterbury.
Yeah,
Is this
Canterbury.
rugby?
$1.05,
Auckland?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
like.
went Taranaki. I don't know. Is that
They're
just,
terrible
Are
since
they?
their All Blacks have
been,
left.
yeah, they've just been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I looked at the teams. I was like, oh, they're not too bad. I think they might come up good.
Hawke's
but
Bay's
yeah,
playing
so-
Harbour in Auckland.
Yeah,
Hawke's
I've
Bay,
got
yeah,
Hawke's Bay.
I did notice
Bay.
that too. I thought Hawke's Bay could rest players for the Shield clash next week. You're right, but we don't know the teams yet, so we'll just go with the Bay.
We'll go Bay.
We're locking in the
we'll go
Bay.
Wellington.
Yep.
We get Wellington. Man, they look dodgy last week.
Who are they playing?
Who are they playing?
They always bounce back.
Otago.
though. They
Otago.
always
Yeah,
bounce
no, they're
back.
going to beat Otago.
Otago's bruised. They're still butthurt. They lost
are.
the Shield.
Nah, Wellington bounced
Nothing.
back.
We've got Waikato.
Baxter reckons
'Cause
Canterbury's
they'll
going to lose.
No, they're not. No, they're
$1.05.
okay.
Lose.
Look what she's done to us.
Oh,
An
no.
8-year-old has got us all second
No,
guessing.
we're
We're
good.
things
We're
like Canterbury's going to
Don't.
lose.
No, we're good.
Don't.
Get dips in the catch.
Tasman.
Tasman. We're going Tasman.
Yeah, lock in Tasman.
And at the in the
The last
bookend
one.
the bookend game, I'm going to go Southland. I think Southland they're good this year.
Oh, Aiden said we are resting them, Nate.
Oh, they are.
And Will Miller's just said new forward pack for
Forward
Canterbury.
Well, about time because Canterbury still. Canterbury
This is
should
a
have the-
communal bet. Like, we're all up
Okay,
against
then
an
hang on.
8-year-old here.
Hang on, wait. Let's go with North Harbour then. If Hawke's Bay is doing a full rotate, these are Mitre 10 cup.
North
cup
Harbour looked
squads.
good last week.
Yeah, and they do. They're good.
Oh, no, look what it's done
And
to
they've
us.
got Bryn Gatlin. We're going Harbour. So we're going Roosters, Rabbitohs, Canterbury, Auckland, Harbour, Wellington, Waikato, Tasman, Southland, and then we're going out for dinner because we bloody well won.
That's got to be.
Right?
That's well done.
The
That's
way
well
you
done.
said it just got me on board. I'm
I'm
back.
It's
I'm
couch.
back.
It's couch for dips.
Absolutely on board. Absolutely on board. Headline number 3, Patriots cheating again. Go on, Blake.
Yeah, I love it. Just Bill Belichick just said, mate, Gilmore, you got found out a bit. Go and rub some COVID on Paddy
Yeah, go-
Mahomes, and
So
you're
this
back in
clip,
the team.
this clip is proof that America still hasn't quite come to terms with COVID because they've got a full-on league still operating in the NFL.
Do you think they're going to have a full stadium in Miami in 2 weeks?
Yes,
2 or 3 weeks?
60,000.
Absolutely, it's going to be pumping. So if you can take notice of number 15 in red, his name is Patrick Mahomes. He's the MVP of the Super Bowl and Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
Probably the most important player in the game right now, arguably.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
say that?
He's the best. He's the best.
The guy who's hugging him and holding him only hours after this movement had happened had been found to have COVID-19 and is in
Oh,
isolation.
no, Andy Reid.
Yeah, so obviously he's had COVID for the game, in the game.
Well, he was tested before the game. They got tested before they got on their flight. They got tested. They flew on the day of the game to Kansas City. They then got tested again before the game. He was tested after the game, and he had COVID.
So, but when do those
Incubation.
results come back? What, straight away?
Yes,
They're
they've got
boom, 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 boom.
instantaneous. They've got instantaneous results. Like, it's pretty much then and there. It's not long at all.
Then it's got to be someone else. You can't go clean,
Well,
COVID.
Kablooms. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though: it's incubation. Like, you don't know when it's going to pop out, right? People are getting people.
Yeah,
are
because
getting,
remember, like Dr. Michelle told us that time. What is it? It's basically been in you. When it says you've got COVID, what it means is 14 days ago is when you first got COVID. That's what it means, and that's the scariness of that. You're like, oh, what have I done in the last 14 days?
So the Patriots are cheating right here.
Yeah, because this is how they're taking out other teams. This is next level.
This
Yeah,
is
This is
thinking.
next level. This isn't deflating balls.
And I have forgotten the name of the person, but he said he made a comment on our Facebook page that just said, "Looks like Bill Belichick is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers."
He is.
He's playing the long game.
That's so good.
He's
He's-
put Gilmore out there. Make sure, mate. I know you've spent a lot of time around Cam Newton. You caught it off him. Just hang around after the game and make sure you get a good hug on Patrick Mahomes.
Beautiful.
You know what? He shouldn't play next week, but something tells me that the NFL say, you're all right, mate.
You're right.
You earn us this much
Just wipe
money. You
your
go
nose.
play.
You're fine. Just take
go
Coldrell. There you go.
You go ahead and do it, Nate. I want your show and tell next before our last, for our absolute final and last of the Peard lines.
So in the show and tell, now this is something you can see coming here. So basically, a man with a very expensive
Well,
sports
no amount
car.
of money can buy sense. The driver of this Maserati became
Tried to go
stuck
drifting in the
after
sand, but look
steering
at
the
the guy
supercar
towing him.
onto the sand at Port Stephens, and that's
He
when
knew.
things went from
He
bad to
knew.
worse. An attempt to get
Look,
out,
this guy drives
failing
off way too fast.
spectacularly.
Everybody
The
knows when you're
Maserati's
towing, you
bumper bar
cannot ever
ripped
tow
clean off
anything like that. like
as
that.
a ute
He did
hooked
that on
on
purpose 'cause he
and
thinks
then
that guy's a
sped
wanker.
away. Oh no, indeed.
100%. There is no way you were doing that any other way. You're not doing that.
Well,
You're doing
no
that
amount of
completely
money
on
can
purpose. You're
buy
going, "All right, I'm gonna get some
sense. The
speed up
driver of
before
this
I take off." And who
Maserati
attached
became
it to the
stuck
bumper?
after steering the supercar onto the sand at Port Stephens, and that's when things went from bad to worse. An attempt to get out, failing spectacularly. The
That's,
Maserati's
get out of
bumper
here.
bar ripped clean off
That's made us
as a
all laugh
ute
because
hooked
none
on
of us
and
can,
then
actually.
sped
Yeah, I
away.
can't afford that.
Oh
Probably
no,
the bloke
indeed.
in that truck that's been working for 30 years and then looks at this young bastard in a Maserati and goes, I'm going to get you.
Well, no amount of money can buy sense. The driver of this Maserati became
he's got his
stuck
elbow on the
after
window.
steering the
He doesn't give a
supercar onto the sand at Port Stephens, and that's when things went from bad to worse. An attempt to get out, failing spectacularly.
Tunes
The
to the God.
Maserati's
Watch
bumper
this.
bar ripped clean off
All
as
right,
a ute
and
hooked
finally-
on and then sped away.
This is a feel-good
Oh,
story
no,
because we want to
indeed.
leave everyone on a feel-good story. I've still got some shuttles to run. How many have I got to?
You've got a
Ash?
lot to run.
You're at 13.
Well, no,
Jeez.
no amount of money can buy.
All
Oh,
right.
I love. What's his name? Dogface.
Dog face.
Could we pump it up a bit?
No one knows what the lyrics to this is.
This video has gone viral.
But what are the lyrics that he sings here? You don't know.
I've got no idea.
Wasala down, the raid, defeated, dead, to beat.
420 Dogface, 208 if you haven't heard about him. This was put up on...
I love it. It was so nice.
is
The world
TikTok,
just
yeah.
needed it. It was right in the bit where everything just seemed super shitty. I think the world had a particularly bad week, and then this guy just comes in, just going, and it was quite nice. It just caught the world.
Backstory behind it, his car broke down. He always keeps his longboard in the... He was on his way to work. He always keeps his longboard in the back of his ute.
Yeah.
Pulled it out. Thought, well, I'll skate to work. Grabbed his ocean spray out of the out of the car and started skating. And the song popped into his head, and that's where it happened.
That's so good.
Isn't it good?
Mate,
That's
and
the
Fleetwood
feel-good
Mac.
story.
Get some cream.
How much of Fleetwood Mac benefited off of him?
Well, they're number
I
one
can
now,
tell
so-
you now.
need to
TikTok
get him
classic
back.
track Rumors has streamed an average of 105,000 times a day since the video has gone up.
He needs some hit back.
And
Hit
he has got
Dogface.
some hit back. Ocean Spray apparently brought him a brand new ute today and a year's supply of the juice.
Oh,
Of
nice.
the cranberry juice. So
Well, hang on, wait. What do they think a year's supply is? Here's one a week.
and does he have to give the ute back? Remember those ones where you're like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
giving you a ute for a
For,
year.
for a year. By the way, it's really expensive to fill up.
All right, I'm going to
Beautiful
leave you guys to. I'll actually start doing my shuttle runs now. I want to show everyone the appreciation for watching the show, B, sharing the stream, B, liking the stream, and getting amongst it. So I'll leave it to you, Nato, to explain to our friend Aish here about the Rent-A-Crowd and National and what that whole story was about, because I found that hilarious. In the meantime, I'll start doing my shuttle runs.
Okay, right. So Judith Collins is doing a walkthrough of Ponsonby, the Ponsonby Auckland Central electorate, where they've got
13.
You got to do 13 shuttles, mate. And like this is a kind of a quite hotly contested seat because it's quite different. Chloe Swarbrick is standing in that for the
Yep.
Greens, and you got your Nats and your Reds, and it used to be quite a hippie place, but now it's quite businessy. It's quite rich.
Well, that's where I used to go to have some beers.
Yeah, a bit of
Nightlife,
those.
possibly,
Yeah, it's very nice. But they're walking on the streets there, and then the bit where like, oh, Mr. President, whatever, right? So Judith Collins is there, and you're going like, is she even popular? Well, she was the belle of the ball. They had the TV cameras there, and it was beautiful because just as the TV cameras were there, people would just walk up to her and say, "Oh, hey, it's great. I wanted to meet you. You're doing a wonderful job. Way to stick it to that bloody horse-toothed bloody Jacinda." That sort of carry on and all that. And then they went back, and then one of the journalists recognised one of the guys.
Who was he?
Well, he's a guy who may or may not be the campaign manager for the National Party MP that's running. But he's also quite a troll on Twitter. Not really a troll. He's a very aggressive tweeter politically.
Did they hit him up? Like, did they?
Yeah, they did.
The journalists, they went at him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and so they end up asking him about it, like, and you are, so you just happen to be here, and for a guy that is so abrupt and abrasive and confident on Twitter, man, when the camera's put in his face, he just ends up going blah 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 blah, and then he comes out with the really bullshit. I was in Ponsonby anyway. I was here anyway. It happens all the time.
Oh, I love it. You tell us straight away a lie out.
It was so good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think you're good, mate.
Yeah, you're good.
Excellent.
Couple of sides.
So it was it was a beautiful bit of politics as well, because I mean, our election cycle. Nice work, buddy. Our election cycle has it been a little bit boring? I suppose it has. It's just like, because they're kind of like nerdy goofs on both sides, aren't they?
I just want to personally thank everyone out there for liking the stream, and just keep liking if you want.
Keep
the
liking
show's
and
not
sharing.
over yet.
Show's over.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Show's over.
I really appreciate it.
Show's over. Hey, thank you everyone for watching. I'm poked.
One more maybe.
I'm good. Thank you to Jazz. Sorry we couldn't get the JUCO team on, but we will have.
It'll be the most explosive, biggest fight in New Zealand ever, the biggest combat. It'll be something like that.
the greatest of all time.
That's what he'll be doing. David will be just practicing his words.
100%.